Hi, my name is Judy and I'm the City Stitcher and welcome to my Flosstube channel. Today is Sunday, July the 11th, and it started off as an incredibly gray, really rainy day. So I woke up to pouring rain this morning, but it seems to have rained itself out and we're now into sunshine and gloriousness. So it's hopefully going to be a lovely day for the rest of the day. That'll be fantastic. This is a channel about cross stitch, and if you are a new viewer, thank you for stopping by and spending some time with me, and if you are a returning viewer, thank you for coming back and spending some time with me. And as always, if you've got any comments, questions, or topics you would like me to address, please feel free to put them in the comments down below. Always happy to address those. And with that, we're going to get right into some questions that I got on last week's video. So a couple of things here. Like I've got notes. Okay, I forgot to write down the name. Someone was commenting that they were struggling when they were trying to sort out their threads from a Victoria sampler thread pack, and thank you for putting that in there, because I will keep that in mind for a topic for a later video. It won't help you right now, about how I sort through a Victoria thread pack. But if you're struggling with the colors, my recommendation is, if you've got a DMC color card, that is kind of one of my go-to tools as I try to sort through thread packs. So generally the Victoria sampler thread packs are with silks, but usually there is a DMC equivalent in the chart, and hopefully that DMC equivalent, if you've got a DMC color card chart, that will help you do some of that differentiation, because yes, it can be difficult, and the way the color names are may not necessarily agree with how they look. You know, I go back to the one that I did for Jeanette's, where I went, I don't know that I would call that dark gray or dark brown, because I think it's really a grayish. That's exactly where the difficulty lies, and hopefully if they've done a good job with their DMC color conversions that they're putting into the charts, that will help you sort out those colors, particularly when there's a lot in a color range. Hopefully, so that's one of my go-to tools to help sort through that problem. Joanne, okay, I'm really glad you only worked on that one day. Great. You're still probably going to beat me, and don't worry about it. I have all of the ability to go, what finish? What finish? Oh, doesn't that look fantastic? What finish? I can totally admire it and go, sorry, she finished what? And pretend that nothing happened. I'm good at that skill. But enjoy your Yvonne Leclerc. Hannah Mansfield. So, I haven't caught up with Jeanette, but I was chatting with a friend of mine who actually was going and going to be seeing Jeanette, and I said, "Oh, when you see her, can you ask her this question?" So the answer that came back is that the Mystic is part of the chart that is now called the 4 Seasons Sampler. So I don't know. Hopefully, one of those things will look familiar. I looked inside the chart, because I of course have this one, and went, there's nothing in here that says Mystic, but have a look at that, and hopefully one of those will look familiar to what you're thinking of. And if not, again, always feel free to put something down in the comments down below if you don't think this is it, what you can remember of it, and I'm more than happy to do another round. So that's the Mystic one. As usual, I've got stuff all around me, so let's put that one there. Okay, and then Cindy G left me a question. One little caveat: if you put questions on videos from long ago, sometimes they lag in how they show up in the comments in the YouTube channel stuff for me. So if you've left a comment on a previous one and I haven't gotten back to you, or I haven't answered in a video, please feel free to ask it again. Probably put it in the most recent video, and that way I can make sure that I can get on there. So Cindy, your question had to do with if I was still using the same bags and rings that I showed in my storage or storage organization, something like that, video? And the answer is, so I've got I've got 2 bags and rings, and so the answer is yes to both. So I am absolutely, definitively, unequivocally a floss away bag girl. I know, and again, you have to find the system that works for you. This is the system that works for me. So these are the threads from the Mill Hill kit that I'm currently working on. I have put them into floss away bags, labeled with DMC tags, carry them, put them on a ring, and then the project itself stays in these bags. Like I say, I got these off of Amazon, and these are labeled with, I think they're like Avery tags. They're the ones like you get 50 of them in a box and all that kind of stuff. And yes, I'm one of those ridiculous people. I like them because they make the sound. Makes no sense whatsoever. Anyway, to me, this is a happy sound. Projects. So I think I've developed a Pavlovian response to when I hear the tag jiggling. But anyway, so yes, still using these bags, these label rings, absolutely definitively a floss away bag person with the rings. Again, you don't have to use floss away bags. You just have to make sure you get the smallest of the Ziploc bags, which I think is the snack size. Those work too. And, you know, you can get those at, you know, Walmart or, you know, wherever, 1,200 places. So that's the other option. I tend to have quite a few floss away bags in the house, and so this is what I use, and I do reuse them. And I recombine and take things out and relabel and all that kind of stuff. So, so those are my floss aways. Cindy, if that's not exactly what you were referencing, if you can give me one more round of that and clarify, that would be great. More than happy to answer that question. All right. And this is, okay. So those are the questions from last week. Want to address a couple of things that are going on in the cross-stitching community. So I, like many others, was very sad to hear about the passing of Barb Adams of Blackbird Designs. So that's so unexpected for many of us, and my sincere condolences to her family and to those in the stitching community that were good friends of hers and knew her very well. I put myself in the category of one of those people who I only knew her from afar and have, you know, a number of the charts. Wait till we get to Stashquisitions. Anyway, but yeah, so a big loss to the community from that one, because I know that in Blackbird, there's a chart for everyone from Blackbird Designs. Anyway, I don't quite have a Blackbird in my stitching plan for the rest of this year, but you just never know when something's going to pop up. And with that, I'm going to transition into, so Blackbird Designs, again, just a reminder, traditional stitches. I tried to find, because I know that I showed this chart and I didn't reprint it, but Traditional Stitches has an exclusive design from Blackbird Designs, which is still available. It is called What Remains Is Love. I will put a direct link in the comments section down, not in the comments section, in the notes section below, that will directly link you to their site if you are interested in getting that exclusive chart. It is only available from Traditional Stitches, so that's why I'm highlighting that one, because if you're now on a mission to try to make sure you have all of your Blackbirds that you want, and that's an exclusive one, and it can only be gotten from Traditional Stitches. And while I was there, I thought I should highlight a couple of the other things that are going on at Traditional Stitches. So first, I'm just going to do a quick reminder that Eliza Martha Linfoot from Hands Across the Sea Sampler, they are taking pre-orders for this one. This is a chart that is exclusive to 4 stores. Traditional Stitches here in Canada, the Attic Needlework in Mesa, Arizona, Needle in a Haystack in California, and A Stitch in Time in Australia. So those are the 4 places. If you're looking just for the chart only, you can get that from Hands Across the Sea samplers themselves. But these are the 4 that are carrying the chart, as well as the supplies for this. I want to highlight this one because if you are interested in this particular chart, if you buy the chart, the linen, and the threads, and there's various linen options, there's various thread options, you have until July 31st. If you order that combination, chart, linen, and threads, from one of those 4 stores, they are offering a 10% discount for the kit for this. There's going to be a Facebook group for this. There's going to be a stitch along for this. The person who's hosting the stitch along is the same person who hosted the stitch along for the Hands Across the Sea samplers, Jane Fittis. The group is the same, so I don't know if they're going to adjust the name when this one kicks in. I don't know. I'm part of the Facebook group. I'm probably not going to be stitching this one. But I'm always like, hey, 10% discount, let's take the discount when we can get it. The stitch along start date for this particular stitch along currently is scheduled for October the 1st. As far as I know, the shops are planning to start shipping out towards the end of August, as far as I know. Certainly Traditional Stitches is very clear on their website that they are planning on starting to ship the kits for this starting at the end of August. Your linen choices are 30, 38, 45, and 53, 63 for those of you who like the scary high counts. Even just saying it out loud makes me cringe. I can't do that one. The thread options are DMC, Soie d'Alger, and Soie 103. And the stitches used in this particular chart are cross stitch and satin stitch. So again, there's not a large number of specialty stitches, so this is can be done by it, as far as I'm concerned, anyone. I did not write down how big this is. If you want to know how big this is, the stitch count is on the Traditional Stitches website. And again, I will do a direct link to their webpage where they've got all the information about Eliza Martha Linfoot. Okay, so along with Eliza Martha Linfoot, the most recent announcement from Traditional Stitches. So last year, I don't know, I don't remember when she announced it. Traditional Stitches had an exclusive design from Hands Across the Sea sampler, which was the Anne Morrison sampler. Limited edition, exclusive to Traditional Stitches, and lots of people missed out on that one. So I just want to highlight that this is first of all, I'm going to say this is a terrible picture, but I tried to kind of blow it up, but it's not, anyway. So Traditional Stitches has another exclusive chart from Hands Across the Sea samplers, which is called Esther Blackwood. This is a terrible picture because this is me kind of blowing it up from the website. Again, I will put a link in the notes section below that will have the direct link to the specific Esther Blackwood page on Traditional Stitches website if you're interested in reading more about this. I'm not going to, the closer I bring it up, just the fuzzier it's going to get. So if you want to see more about it and some closer pictures of this one, those are on Traditional Stitches website. The details about this one, Traditional Stitches is offering a 15% discount if you order the chart, the linen, and a chart, a linen, and a thread combination by September 30th. So 50% discount on this one. I will say I did write the stitch count for this one. This is a big one. This is not a small one. This is quite a bit bigger than Anne Morrison was. So the stitch count for this is 330 by 335, so a pretty big piece. There are two, you can either get a hand-dyed lakeside linen fabric is one of the options, which you can get it in either a 32, 36, 40 or a 46 count. If you want a solid count, solid colored linen, they've got legacy linen options for this chart as well, which are available in a 30, 38 or 45 count linen. The DMC options for this, which is typical for Hands Across the Sea, are DMC, Soie d'Alger, and Soie 103. And similar to Eliza Martha Linfoot, the only stitches used in this particular chart are cross stitches and the satin stitch. So that's the other one. So Eliza Martha Linfoot, 10% discount if you kit it up. You have to have your order in by July the 31st. If you are kitting up Esther Blackwood, 15% discount. If you are kitting it up with chart linen and threads, your order has to be received by September 30th to get that discount. Esther Blackwood, I think they're hoping to, so these are all pre-orders right now. They're hoping to start shipping the Esther Blackwood items out beginning towards the middle of October. That one is also a stitch along. The stitch along leader for that one is also going to be the fantastic, lovely Rose Heck, who is also the stitch along leader for Anne Morrison. I think they're putting it into the same Facebook group again. And the start date for that stitch along is going to be Boxing Day, which is December the 26th. So there's that one. So the other thing I wanted to talk about, just supply chain stuff, because again, I hear some people talking about things and go like, the supply chain is not fixed, and in fact, I'm always hearing these random stories. One of them I will pass along, because fabric is still, I would say the fabric chains are still struggling with things. I heard a story over the last couple of weeks from a fabric dyer that if I said the name you would recognize it, but I'm not going to. I'm not going to, because I heard this like third, fourth, fifth hand. You know, but not surprisingly, they put in an order for fabric. In fact, they put in an order for hundreds of yards of fabric. And when they got their shipment, they got 10% of what they ordered. So again, this just speaks to that there's, and I know it's frustrating for people, I totally get it. You want to start stitching your project, you want to start it now, it calls for, you know, fabric X, and I get that. Okay, I'm probably not the best example of it because I tend to change a lot of things about my things, but I do understand that sense. But the problem is right now, for a wide variety of factors, there's just a really big backlog in getting some of those hand-dyed fabrics. And that's just a reality, you know, and like, what's the dyer to do? You know, you ordered hundreds and hundreds of yards of fabric and you got 10% of that number? Like, what? Anyway, don't get me wrong, it's frustrating for everybody, and I get that, but we are where we are. Patience. This is where we get to practice the art of patience. Okay, sometimes I'm really good at that, sometimes I'm not. Remember when I fell off the bandwagon about the Stashquisitions? So we're back on Stitch from Stash. We'll talk about that later, but anyway, patience with things. Some of the hand-dyed fibers are doing okay. Some of them are still struggling quite a bit. Not exactly sure what all of the problems are there, but again, from a variety of different sources, I would say Gentle Arts is the one that is struggling the most right now that I can tell. Just, you know, there are colors that have been back ordered for many, many months. So I don't know if that's a combination of dye issues, and like I know Picture This Plus has had to stopped selling certain of their colors because the dyes just straight up are not being produced, and whatever dye sources they've got, they can't replicate it, and they've had to like say these colors are completely discontinued. So there's lots of stuff going on within our world, our stitching world, that are causing some problems. So let's just be patient with everything that's going on. I get it. It's just it, but we want to start what we want to start what we want. I get that. Anyway, it was interesting because I was having a chat with Janice, the owner of Traditional Stitches, where I was like going, picture this plus is running behind, isn't like Nashville. Like, dear designers, we maybe need to tell us what fabrics you think you're going to put your designs for Nashville, because some, like, the shops are pretty much going to need to order that fabric now. Anyway, complications. Anyway, getting off of that. So those are my notes on things that are going on. With that, we're 20 minutes in. Let's get on with some stitching here. The topic for this week is Mill Hill kits, because I'm currently working on a Mill Hill kits. As is typical with most of my videos, we will be addressing that particular topic at the very end of this particular episode. So let's talk about the stitching I've accomplished this week. One little caveat before I show you what I've accomplished this week. I actually did lose 2 days of stitching time. My eye was having an issue this week. One of my eyes. Okay, so I'm a contact lens wearer. I had to wear glasses, things like, it was a point where it was like, I might need to call the optometrist, I might have an eye infection, but anyway, took the contacts out, gave them a break for a couple of days, didn't stitch. They were really cranky for a couple of days, and on day 3 woke up and everything was fine. Anyway, so I lost 2 stitching days, but eye health is more important. So what have I been working on? Well, the Never-Ending Nativity, the Bethlehem Star center panel of the Marbeck Nativity. Still not done with it. That day is coming. I just want to say that day is coming. Not imminently, but it's coming. Don't forget, it is coming. Okay, so what did I get accomplished? So I did get my goal for this week accomplished despite all of my eye problems. So all of the stitching down here is now complete. And I laughed. I was catching up with a friend of mine who said, okay, this angel is looking much better now, because they were kind of looking really disproportionate when they didn't have this bottom part. And I'm like, well, yes, because the top part, that's only 2/3 anyway. She's like, well, they were looking quite short. It's looking better now. So yes. So I did get my goal accomplished. So all of the DMC has been fully completed down here. So my goal for this week is to get all of the back stitching completed in this one and to start working on the beams. I'm not going to commit that I'm going to get the beams on this side completed, but hopefully get all of the back stitching done in here, because there's, it's back stitching with Krynic. I know, you'd think I would have gotten over it, but anyway, whatever. There's back stitching with Krynic. It will make this look lovely, and get started working on the beams over here. Because once I finish the back stitching in the beams, I only have the bottom part of this angel and the beams, and then we're on to all of the beading that has to be done on this. But I think according to my count, there's only like a couple hundred beads, so that's not too bad. And beading doesn't bother me, so making progress, slow, very slow. But we really do need to get going on this, because, you know, I've got to take it in, I've got to get it put into its special frame, because it needs to be displayed for Christmas. All right. So my other piece that I'm working on so far on this month is this Mill Hill kit, which is a visit from St. Nick Quartet. So there's 4 kits in this particular series. I'm working on the one that's called The Stockings Were Hung. As with all of my things, I do have to say, you know, as I get ready for these videos, I sometimes look at them and go like, oh man, it doesn't really look like you got anything accomplished this week. And then I look at it and go, no, you got something accomplished. So again, it was this morning, I looked at it and went, no, this actually looks like you got something accomplished. So I finished most of the brickwork. I discovered I missed one stitch, so I have to go back and fix that. So the brickwork is almost complete. The stockings are almost done. For most of them, the only thing left to do on them is the beads, which I will do last. This little blank spot here is actually DMC, but that was a color that had not been used yet, and I was like, well, when I start to use that color, I'll come back in and fill it in. So my plan is to work from the mantle up. See if I can't do, there's the clock, nutcracker, there's a nutcracker over here, a box, a vase, a candlestick, a candelabra. So I'm planning on working up from here to see if I can't get to that top border and then sort of work over and down. True to form, if you've watched me for any amount of time, I tend to change things. Technically, if I were really on my game, I probably would have made this brickwork a little more gray, but I've got these 3 kits. There's a consistent color palette through them, and I was like, just go with the kits. The thing that I think I'm really going to change on here is in this particular chart, there's a dog lying here in front of the fireplace. I'm not really a pet person, so I'm going to forewarn you right now that when we get down here, that this might just turn into carpet. I don't know that there's going to be a dog in my particular piece. Mill Hill Kit's still having to change stuff. So not bad. I think the decent progress for this week. So it's coming along. And again, losing 2 days of stitching time sort of, cut into what I got accomplished. But health is more important. All right. With that, I got some Stitchy Kindness this week. It was really kind. I love it. So what did I get? I need to get all of my things. So Tina from Bee Busy Bags on Etsy. So here is her card. I will put a link to her Etsy shop in the notes below. So I bought I call them thread beds. I think she calls them something else. But she sent me a gift of one. So she sent me this one, which is great because now I can have one at each of my stitching spots. It's really fantastic. I'm really excited. So again, it's just, so a couple of things about this. So again, it's just got the flannel things in here so you can put your thread on here and not have it fly away all over the place. A couple of things I just want to point out. The reason why I really love these things, one is if you're working on a project like the Mill Hill kits and you're working on them multiple evenings, if you're doing some of these colors, it is nice to just sort of leave them in here. And the thing that I like is that it closes up. I've looked at a couple of other ones, like the Lori Holt boards and stuff like that, which I think are interesting, but there's not necessarily a cover on it. And I think, anyway, so the thing that I like about these types of thread beds is that you can put them on here and close it up. That's my favorite part about this. The one I like about these is it's pretty decent retail space. So I'd say 12 inches long, and by 5 maybe. So, yay! Thank you, Tina. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Very, very excited about this. She also sent me an extra one of my Kleenex holders, which clearly this is in my color palette range. So thank you so much, Tina. That was very unexpected and incredibly kind and generous of you, and love these products. So very happy to put a link to her page below. She's got other things on there as well, so go give her a look. So thank you, Tina. That was unexpected and really lovely of you. All right, Stitch from Stash. We're in July. We're in round 2. I am trying to be successful at this. Now there's still a lot of haul from before that I have not yet shown you. So there will be lots of things to show you from Stashquisitions, but they're actually all from prior till now. So far this month, from July 1 till now, I've been very good. I have not bought anything. Do have some plans. For some things. I was talking to a friend of mine. I said, like, I've already got 4 patterns that are on my to be acquired list. Anyway, so I need to get some things done. Anyway. So the Stashquisitions I am about to show you are from previous shopping expeditions, but they've been gathering in a bag, waiting for me to show them on things because, you know, the last number of these have been really lengthy episodes. So what did I get? So continuing on from my saga of after I showed you the things that the stitching tools that I like to use, and now that I am firmly back in summer and stitching out here in the sunroom, but, you know, on the days when it's 35 degrees, not stitching in the sunroom, so I'm keeping my other place well supplied as well. So I just got to the point where it's like, I've decided I need to have 2 fully stocked locations to stitch in. I know, ridiculous, and anyway, whatever. So I got myself another one of these. I know I'm not taking it out of the bag yet. What is it called? Chart clip. And again, I have them, this is just something to clip your chart to and hold it in place and move it around and all that kind of stuff. I showed this back on the stitching tools that I use. This way I can have one at each of my stitching spots. Okay. Same thing, Ray Parsons Alls. So I had one of these, and again, because I need 2 fully equipped stitching spots, I went and got myself another one. They're all different. They're stunningly beautiful. I love these things. And since I've also made a decision that I should be working on 1 canvas work project every year, this factors a lot into that as well. Okay, I'm just putting it in the wrong spot. Okay, so that's to help stock up my spots. So the other one from the stitching tool things, remember I said that a friend of mine thought that I had done a pretty good job, except that I hadn't done what did she call them? It's the medical name. Anyway, whatever. I didn't know what they were, etc., etc. I was catching up with another friend of mine who said, well, Traditional Stitches has those. And of course, because it's needlework things, we like the pretty ones. Man, it's killing me that I don't remember what the name of these things are. Anyway, so again, so the pretty needlework version of these things. So this is called a needle gripper. Got a titanium oxide finish. And since people had talked about it, and since my other friend said Traditional Stitches has these and they carry them, of course, you know me and the gadgets, so I went out and bought a pair. Now, I have not used this yet, but I now have it in my stash. I will let you know. Man, it's killing me that I can't come up with a proper name for this. Anyway, it will come to me, hopefully, maybe by the end. Anyway, so I went out and got a pair of them because somebody said Traditional Stitches has these and they've got them. So I went out and got a pair of these. Again, this is just to help you pulling your needle through things and etc., etc. So in my head, again, this is something that I could see me using for canvas work. That's in my head. Wait till my friend comes back and says, what are you talking about? That's an everyday tool. Who knows? Check back later. I'll let you know how I start using it. And the rest of it, today's episode of Stashquisitions are charts. So as I was pulling it together, I was looking and going, oh, yeah. Over the last several months have added a couple of more Blackbird Designs charts into my stash. So this one is called the Farmhouse. You know me, house, flowers, you know, I've got a problem with houses. The other one, this is called The Winter Is Past, and this one I got very specifically because somebody posted a picture on Instagram, and I just went, oh my goodness, that is lovely. Now, they didn't post a title of it, so I had to go check around with some friends and stuff like that, and it turns out it's this. Assuming they did it using the called for colors, this cover does not even remotely do it justice. Now, that I know that tends to be the case for a lot of these charts, but the one on Instagram, I'm like, I honestly looked at it and went, like, I don't think I've ever seen this before in my life. Saw this chart and I went, I'm pretty sure I've seen the chart before, but if that's what it looks like in real life, now, maybe they did a color conversion and I need to go back. I did save the post, but this is the chart. So it's lovely shades of blue and green is the one on Instagram that I saw. So since I was off the bandwagon, I went, now's the time to get it. All right, these are ones that were on my craving list, but anyway. So this is Let It Snow from Ori TM. Yes, I didn't take it out of the bag. I've got a thing about snowflakes and winter and all that kind of stuff. And honestly, I really love the effect of these on this color of fabric. One, because it's a blue colored fabric. And just the surprise of Rudolph down here. Long Dog samplers. I have no business getting this, but I got it anyway. Opening Gambit. I just love the themes in here. Now, I don't love all of it. I don't necessarily love this particular part down here, but now that I have the Ultimate Sampler Motif book, who knows what I might change down here when I get there. Everything else I love about it. Love the castles, love the chest things, love the hot air balloon. When am I going to do this? I don't know. Because anyway, in the 5-year plan, I have a different Long Dog sampler embedded in that plan. Got things sticking on things. Okay, this one, Circular Logic. Ugh, I love this. Love this, love this, love this. Now, I don't think I'm going to do it in this colorway. My current plan is that, so there's a solid color used sort of for these circles and sort of like these outer rims of things, and then a variegated one to do these center motifs. So my current thinking is that I will do all of these motifs. So the variegated will be done with Karen Waterlily's Hudson's Bay, which is shades of blue and turquoise, and then use a navy blue. Actually, I was going to say, so Hudson's Bay is kind of this colorway. This colorway, sort of more colors than this, but this colorway, and use navy as the solid color. That's my current thinking. Now, when I actually get to stitching this, check back because everything could have changed by then. And then this one stitch at a time. Take each day one stitch at a time. Love the sentiment. I like my big toe designs. This is a small one, so it shouldn't be too terribly hard whenever it fits into the plan. I'm expecting that I will be changing the colors on these. It looks similar to my current background, but not quite. So my plan is to make the purple of this look like the purple in this particular room, and the green look like the color of my chair. So that's my plan. So not vastly different. And then it can go up in this room whenever it gets fully finished. That's a whole other kettle of fish. All right. So those are the Stashquisitions I'm planning on showing this week. I'm telling you right now, there's more left that I've already pre-bought. Like I say, I did get a shipping notification on some other stuff that I had bought, that at least they're on their way. I don't know when they're going to show up. But technically, since July 1st, I have successfully not purchased anything from the stash. So we are at July 11th. So far, so good. But there are 4 charts in my to be acquired list. One of the well, anyway, we'll get to that when I acquire them. I was watching Kathy Haberman and her Hands-On Design YouTube channel. Her most recent video, she's talking about her Life in the Kitchen series that's going on. So chart number 2 is out. Chart number 3 is coming. She didn't actually mention it in the video. It's in the notes section below, which is where I go, there's amazing things that you can learn in some of these note sections. Chart number 3. So I haven't decided that I'm getting chart number 2. Chart number 3 is called What Do I Like? It sounds like, she didn't say this, but it's in the note section. It sounds like chart number 3 is going to be What do I like to make for dinner reservations, which sounds like that'll be a really fun one too. So that one's on my radar. That's not even my list of 4, but anyway. I just need to get some things finished. Nativity. Maybe I'll get a Mill Hill kit done. All right. So with that, that is my Stitch from Stash report for this week. So far, so good. I had a couple of friends this week who straight up laughed at me. They were like, "Start back on the bandwagon," and then they both burst into laughter, which I went, not supportive, not supportive. All right, before we get into the topic for this week, just one thing I wanted to highlight. This is a free design. So Fox and Rabbit Designs, so they do charts. There's also Fox and Rabbit hand-dyed fabrics, and Fox and Rabbit are actually the owners of Linens and Threads, which is a cross-stitch store in Australia. They have started a YouTube channel, so I recommend you go and watch them. I will put a link to that below. Like and subscribe, because for some reason these crazy people thought that, you know, they would start a YouTube channel and like who knows when they would ever make it to 1,000 subscribers, and I think within like about 3 days they've got 1,000 subscribers. Sorry, you're a cross-stitch designer, hand-dyed fabrics. Yeah, people are going to be paying attention. So I've subscribed to their channel. So they very quickly got the 1,000 subscribers, and they had said when they got to 1,000, they were going to release a free design. So this is the free design that they put out for reaching 1,000 subscribers. And again, I will put a link to the YouTube channel. I will not put a link directly to this particular chart. You need to go watch, subscribe, like, and then download the chart. So this is the free chart that they put out for the 1,000 subscribers. They are, why am I encouraging you all to subscribe? Because when they hit 5,000, they're going to release another free chart. So she's working on that one. She was hoping she was going to have a little more time to get that one done, but she kind of went, okay, maybe I'm overestimating how long it will take me to get subscribers. So they've said when they hit 5,000 that there's going to be another free chart. So go like, subscribe, watch. They're fun to watch. And it's always, again, it's always interesting to hear what's happening in the industry from their perspective. They're shop owners, they're designers, they're fabric dyers. Again, just a note, they're located in Australia, so when you're ordering Fox and Rabbit here in North America, don't forget Fox and Rabbit fabrics have to come from Australia to North America. So again, some of those orders, you can't sort of order them and they'll show up, 3 days later. All right, so that's the free chart, Fox and Rabbit. I will put a link to the YouTube channel in the notes section below. And with that, let's get on with the topic. Mill Hill kits. So why are we doing that? Because I'm working on a Mill Hill kit this week. But there's a couple of things I just want to talk about Mill Hill kits and sort of where they factor into my stitching plans. So I'm clearly working on the Visit from St. Nick Quartet, which I think I'm doing a good job on so far. Yeah, weird pause because I'm hoping that this is going to be the screenshot again. And again, the reason why I picked these up originally is, so I don't necessarily love working on perforated paper, and so one of the things that drew me to this particular quartet is that the kits came with fabric. And in this case, it came with 16 count Aida. There are other kits available, and I think I mentioned this before, that there are kits available that are Mill Hill kits that do have fabric in them. Some of them have linen, some of them have Aida. Again, the majority of the Mill Hill kits do come with perforated paper, but some of them do come with fabric. Now, the other thing, if you get ones that come with perforated paper and you don't want to do it on perforated paper, it's like everything else. You can ignore the perforated paper and just pick the fabric of your choice and use the rest of the kit. Just a cautionary note, generally the way that the kits are outfitted are for the count of the perforated paper or the fabric that has been provided in your kit. So like these are not designs where I would take the kit and then sort of go all the way up to a 40 count linen and hope that it works out, because the beads probably aren't going to fit. If it comes with buttons, they're probably going to not look right. Same thing, I wouldn't go too much of a bigger count. So I wouldn't take them to like a 10 count. You'll be able to get them on there, but again, they may not look proportionate and they may not provide the same coverage that they do. So if you're going to switch out of the perforated paper, my recommendation is to switch to a fabric of the same count. Like if it's 14 count perforated paper, you can do 14 count Aida, or you can do a 28 count linen or a 28 count even weave. Same thing. There are also, now I don't have any of these ones, but they do have some known names as part of the Mill Hill kits. So Jim Shore has Mill Hill kits. Laurel Birch has Mill Hill kits. Debbie Mum has Mill Hill kits. So if those are artisans whose designs are appealing to your aesthetic, there are kits that are designs by those individuals that are available as kits. For me, the place to go to see the broadest assortment of Mill Hill kits is Witchilt's page. And again, I will put a link to that in the notes section below. Most shops can order directly from Witchilt. If you have any concerns about that, just have a chat with your LNS, or email your online needlework shop, whoever you're dealing with or you're planning on ordering from, and they'll be able to tell you. As far as I can tell, pretty much most of them do order from Witchilt, and Witchilt is the one that has the full selection. So when you get on there, if you just look under Mill Hill kits, there's probably going to be hundreds and hundreds of them. So come up with some topics if you're looking for those. But if you want to see the full assortment, that is my go-to place. And in fact, when I was pulling my stuff out, I do have some other Mill Hill kits, but again, I didn't want to show a bunch of kits that aren't necessarily available. So some of them went back into the box because they're not currently available. The ones that I'm going to show you are available currently. Okay, I'm going to start with one of the little ones. So one of the things that I like to think about for Mill Hill is, so I've got a friend, she's got a couple of daughters. I'm trying to convince them that they would like to do this as a summer activity. So far have not had success, but check back later because I've got the rest of the summer to work on these girls, to work on something. Gives them a summer activity, learn something new, do something. So the ones that I like to use, and again, to get somebody started on, I don't think beads should be intimidating for everyone. And so for me, these little ornament kits from Mill Hill are great starter projects. One, there's not a bajillion colors. So there's way less colors in a kit like this than there are in my Mill Hill my Santa one that I'm currently working on. But it does come with things. And again, when you buy it as a kit, it comes complete. So for someone, you don't have to send them off to store to get anything else. If you buy a Mill Hill kit, you're getting the chart, whatever you need to stitch it on. It comes with a needle, it comes with the thread, it comes with the beads, buttons, whatever you need to make this particular ornament. So from that perspective, I think it's great because it's a self-contained project. And in this case, these ornament ones are little, so they're not overwhelming. It's not going to take them theoretically 6 months to get something completed. So for me, it gives that sort of more of an instant gratification to someone who's just starting out, that they can do something, they can get it accomplished before they start making more of an investment in this particular hobby. They'll get to try it out and see how they like it. Okay, you're going to see this a lot. I tend to do, for me, a lot of their stuff is the Christmas stuff. So same thing. They've got these trees. There's a series of trees, and I think if you just, on the Witchelt site, if you do Festival of Trees, they should come up the ones that are still available. So again, you get to see that, you know, they're doing them on different colored perforated paper. So this is on a blue one with a lot of green. This one is on a red background. Again, so this is, okay. So, okay, remember we talked to the Jeanette Douglas cruises? These are some of the things that I bought on the Jeanette Douglas cruises. They came with the silver needle on that particular shop, and I got just like, oh, I haven't seen those, and those came home. Yes, I went to Europe and came home with Mill Hill kits. Now, they don't only have Christmas related things. I'm sure none of you think that that's accurate. So they do have like everyday ones. So for me, I do enjoy music and play several instruments. So they've got a buttons and bead kit called Music. So I've got that one as well. They have a series called, I'm going to do this one. So it's called the Christmas Village. And so this one is the Needlework shop. And I started collecting these ones, you know, I was attracted to them originally because I do like things Christmas, their houses and things like that. So you know that's going to be a problem for me. But Stephanie Kine, who's also Stitch from Stash group leader, she was working on a project where she took 12 of these and she stitched them on fabric. And she did this beautiful snowflake border using Petite Treasure braid. Yep, crazy. Anyway, whatever. And it looks stunning. Stunning, stunning, stunning. I have loved watching her work on that. Her YouTube channel is still up. She has not been doing videos for quite a while. She is active on Instagram. I will put a link to her YouTube channel and her Instagram in the notes below. But watching her work on her project was the one that I was like, I need to do those. So again, so these are examples where I am buying the kits. I am not planning on doing it on the perforated paper. I am planning on working them as a larger grouping. I'm totally being a copycat. So there's a Facebook group for this as well. I'll put a link to that in the notes below. So I'm part of the Facebook group. I have bought the same fabric that Stephanie did hers on. I have downloaded the snowflake pattern from where she showed it. I have all the things. Have I started any of this? Of course not. That's not the point. But hers is stunning, stunning, stunning. And, you know, over the years of watching her on her YouTube channel, you know, over time, plugging away, building up this beautiful project, one of these kits at a time. Love it, love it, love it. So I'll put the links to those. So these are just some of the ones. So the Needlework shop, because, you know, for sure that has to be a part of it. This is the Victorian house. And this is the Clocke shop. So again, there's I would say there's probably 20 or more of the kits that belong in the Christmas Village. Again, so if you go to Witchelt and you just put in Christmas Village, maybe even Buttons and Beads Christmas Village, because I don't know what else they might have on there, they will all show up. So I have quite a few of these, but I'm not going to bore you with showing all of the ones that I have. But I totally got into this and bought them, you know, periodically bought a couple of them at a time to build up my collection of them because I watched Stephanie. Stephanie is also known as Ms. Oh So Crafty. For those of you that are Halloween people, so I have one Halloween one. I will say I am eyeing another one. I'm trying to do until I get this one finished. I'm not going to buy the second one, is what I'm trying to hold myself to at the moment. There's a Halloween one that's just, it's got a gate thing, and anyway, whatever. We'll see if that one comes home. But I have this one. They have a whole plethora of Halloween related ones. They have Spring Village. Again, they've got a Mill Hill kit for, I would say, every topic under the sun. There's Easter ones and spring ones and Thanksgiving ones and like July 4th ones and patriotic ones and all sorts of things. There's I really go, there should be a Mill Hill kit for just about everyone. Again, I of course fairly Christmassy, so my collection is pretty heavy on the Christmas themed ones, and certainly weighted towards the village ones. Houses, village, yeah. Anyway, so if you're looking, and again, I look at these, and again, check back at the end of the summer, because I really am taking a run at these poor these poor two girls, because I'm going to try to get them to work on a Mill Hill kit this summer. We'll see how we do. You know, there's a 13-year-old and a 12-year-old, so I've got a technical teenager and a teenager, so we'll see how we do. But just for fun, I am going to show this because I actually have a Mill Hill kit that I have finished the stitching, not fully finished. I really do need to work on that aspect of my finishing. Let's just roll this up. So I am not, this is not going to be linked below because this is one of the ones I did go look on the website. This is a discontinued kit from Mill Hill. But when you got the kit, it came complete with the banding here that has this border. But I did get this one all stitched up and done. So technically just need some backing. Do this little, you know, pointy thing, put it as a little bannery thing. Anyway, whatever. Should be so easy to finish anyway. Check back later, whatever. But this is, and the level of beading is, so like, so here's a button that came with it. So all of this red around here, like all of that is beads. So I'm just going to hold it at as a little bit of an angle because it'll give you a little bit more of a sense as to where the beads are in this. I will say generally your Mill Hill kit, these are not kits that come with like 12 beads. So usually if you do one, I will say by the end of that one project, you'll either know whether you can handle beads or whether beads are like the bane of your existence. I don't mind doing beads. I just couldn't do beads all the time on everything. Like if I were spending everything beading everything, that probably wouldn't work for me. I'm okay sitting down, like at the Never Ending Nativity. I will be totally fine sitting down and just getting all of the beading done on that in one, well, okay, done as a collection. You know, and again, there's going to be quite a few beads in, I didn't bring the kit for this, but there's like 2 bags of beads. Let's see if I can't pull this out from somewhere. Okay, so this is from the Victorian house. Like, it is not uncommon. Woo! This one's got 3. So this is from that Christmas Village, the Victorian house. It has 3 bags of beads. Now, they come in bags so that you can sort them out, and they're noted and etc., etc. But like I say, this is not like 1 or 2 or 10 or 15. This is hundreds of beads. Hundreds of beads. So it does get a little beady. You know, again, when I look at my the Mill Hill kit I'm currently working on, part of my reason for wanting to find the top of this, because it also means, so I am 2 stitches away from the edge of this. There's a lot more left to go on this side because I've got to get the chair and the tree in, but I'm trying to find sort of the top and sort of how, where this is and how it will fit in my Q-snap, because if it will fit reasonably well in my Q-snap comfortably for me to still do stitching, I may start to bead this, because this will be bead heavy at the end. So there's a part of me that says that if it turns out that it will fit reasonably well in the Q-snap that I have, again, there's not a ton of fabric here, right? So you can't go up like egregiously in your Q-snap sizes. But if it fits reasonably in my Q-snap, then I may start to bead as I go, just so that I don't have hundreds and hundreds of beads at the end to plow through. I think it's coming on great. So yeah, so that's my thoughts. I like them. I don't necessarily love doing them on the perforated paper, but they also, if you were, you know, if you were trying to do a small gift exchange, gift thing that you wanted to give to someone, if you were gifting someone where you didn't know whether they would truly appreciate what you're working on, in my head, this is less of an investment than if you went and got beautiful linen and all that kind of stuff. That's me. But they're also, if you watch Stitchin' Mommy, so she's working on ones, so she's doing Mill Hill Mondays, where she works on a Mill Hill project every Monday, because she's trying to work her way up through a series of these button and beads kits, because she wants to have 12 of them done so that she can sort of rotate through them 1 a month as part of the decorations in her house, which, again, I like the concept. I've looked at my kits and went, maybe I did well. I looked at my kits and went, maybe you should work on some of the ones that you have. Now I don't have 12 that are not Christmas related. Anyway, so I need to add to my stash, but my thing is maybe work on some of the ones that you currently have before you jump on the Stitchin' Mommy bandwagon. And again, watching her, it's fun to watch her work on hers and see how hers is coming along, and you know, which one she's going to work on next. So I will put a link to her in the notes below if you want to go and see what she's working on as well. Because she's, like I say, she's working on a Mill Hill kit every Monday. And with that, if you've got any questions about Mill Hill kits or working on perforated paper or beads or things like that, just again, throw them in the comment section below. More than happy to answer questions on that topic. And with that, I hope everybody's had a great week. I hope everybody is continuing to stay safe and stay healthy. I know things are opening up. Again, depends on where you are. The levels of lockdowns are very different depending on location. So please respect what's happening in your particular area, because I want everybody to stay safe and I want everybody to stay healthy to the best of their ability. So that we can all keep stitching together. And with that, I hope you all have a really great week, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Take care.